We've been blessed, right, to enjoy an early fall, if you will, or fall-like temperatures. And now that heat is coming back. So we bring in Lusk. He's a senior forecaster with the National Weather Service based there in Peachtree City. Welcome back to the show.
Hey, thanks for having me again.
All right, 90s coming back. Talk to me about it.
Yeah, like you said, it's been pretty nice the past couple of days, and really it's been nice for a little while now out there. We've had those temperatures that are more seasonable to even a little on the cool side, but unfortunately it looks like starting today things are going to start to heat back up, especially across the metro. So for today's forecast, we've got highs that are going to get up into the mid to upper 80s. I won't even rule out that on the south side of the metro especially, we could see a couple of 90s out there. And then as we go into the weekend, so tomorrow and Friday and Saturday, it looks like we're going to have 90s that are going to be widespread across the area. So summer's coming back, or at least it's going to visit us one last time here.
Yeah.
It's not done with us.
Not yet, not yet. Although if we look a little further out, we know we have another front that's going to come through and cool us back down again as we head into next week. Talk to me about that.
Yeah, correct. It looks like this is going to be kind of a brief little visit, fortunately. As we go into Saturday, into Saturday night especially, and then through the day on Sunday, we'll have a cold front that's going to kind of very slowly slide across the area. It'll be one of those situations where if you're to the south of that front, the temperatures are going to stay in the 90s, but if you're to the north of that front, temperatures are going to start to cool down again into the 70s. And as we get into Monday next week, it looks like that front should push all the way through us, and we've got forecast highs again in the upper 70s for Atlanta and parts of the metro. So again, looks like we might be cooling back down once again, thankfully.
Yeah, I'm not complaining. I'm not complaining at all. I love this. This is feeling really good. Dylan, we looked at, we started out August on the cool side, right? Now we're starting to see the heat come back a little. We started heat come back a little bit middle of August, and then we cooled down once again. Talked about how rare that is for August here in Atlanta.
It's definitely an interesting August for sure, just with how the kind of weather patterns and stuff ended up setting up. You nailed it exactly. We actually had some really cool temperatures to start off August. We had a day that was, we actually had a high of 68, 69 at Atlanta in early August, which is quite low for that time of year. It wasn't quite a record, but it was getting close. As we got into the middle of the month, it got warmer again, and then we got cooler again. So when you put it all together, we actually ended up being pretty average overall if you look at the whole month. In terms of like ranking at the Atlanta airport, we've got about 150 years, give or take a couple of years worth of data there. And ranking-wise, we came out about 73rd, tied for 73rd in terms of like our average temperature over the course of the month. So almost right smack dab in the middle average for everything. So while it was kind of a month of extremes, so to speak, in terms of that heat and the coolness, it ended up balancing out in the end.
Yeah. Real quickly here, I got about 40 seconds with you. Talk to me about the hurricane season real quick. Kind of lackluster, right, when we think about it now as we start to approach the peak of hurricane season.
Yeah, it's quiet out there right now for sure. What we always like to remind people is that as we go into September, exactly like you said, this is the peak. This is when things can certainly take off. This is when we traditionally would see the most kind of storms start to form and things like that. We do have an area we're keeping an eye on currently it's well away from the U.S. right now out in the Atlantic Ocean, but it's the time of year, and so we could see some development here in the next couple of days of something like that into what could be our next named system overall. But the biggest thing with the hurricane season is regardless of whether or not it ends up being above average, below average, anything like that, we always like to remind folks, it only takes one, as we saw last year with a hurricane like Helene or something like that.
Right.
It only takes one hurricane to have tremendous impacts across an area. So don't let your guard down or anything like that just because the season seems like it might be quiet.
Absolutely. Meteorologist Lusk, thanks so much for joining us. Really appreciate all your insight.
Thank you.
All right.